You guys are right. You can't just do wooden dummy. There's also sandbag training. So here I've got a 3-section sandbag. There's a belt around the first section because from hitting it loads it ripped. That one's full of sand, that one's full of sandy gravel, and that one's full of just gravel. You can hang it up on a wall, but unfortunately my walls, or if I hang it up here, I'll get killed by the wife. And also you can repeatedly punch it on like a house wall, and it starts to do stress fractures on the inside of the house. That's after like, you know, weeks and months of training, but it does start to break the house, unfortunately. So some traditional methods of hand conditioning. Usually first you do some tendon washing, which is just like calisthenics. So it's just getting the tendons rubbed to warm them up. That's what all these qigong things are that you see on the internet with the Shaolins and stuff. Well, that's one theory anyway. But you know, it's just you do breathe. You're meant to do it with the breath, so you breathe in and you breathe out. You can do something like this to just get blood into the hand and stretch out the tendons, because whenever you do it, you feel it going all the way down to the fingers. Then traditional style, you'll start off and you'll just hit like this onto the sandbag, the back of the hand like that, and literally it's just a case. Your stance, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like you can get your hands like this and put them on your knees, and that changes from there to there, and you literally just drop the front surface of your hand onto the sandbag. My sandbag's just resting on a stool against the tortoise's cage. You do nice ridges like this, and the idea with this training is that, you know, you do it as much as you can. So, you know, you're not slamming your hand on it as hard as you can. It's full of sand, you know, especially in the cold weather it can sting a bit. So it's more a case of doing it, and you just build up basically. And you literally, you're just dropping your hand onto it like that. Control the breath, breathing into your core, and that helps you to build up a resistance against the pain, basically, of hitting just the sound. But if you're relaxed with it, which is the point of the training, the heat starts to build up in your hands. You can widen your stance. The point of the stance is it's better than standing like this and bending over, and it's training the back of your legs. And by all means, move. And if you're getting tired in your stance, just go wider. In the West, we're quite lazy, aren't we? Martial arts wise. We like our sort of narrow stances, bend and keep our back straight. Just relax with it like the Shaolins do. Legs wide. If you want to lean forward a little, you can. Just a natural, relaxed thing. Remember, you're going to be standing like this for, you know, go on. That's the boring thing. This just goes on. And there's more traditional ways where you'd straighten out the hand every time, and you'd have a strike, sort of praying mantis style, but I just smack it, to be honest. It's about repetition of smacks, and obviously focus. Can't focus very well whilst you're talking, but the idea is breathing into the core, hitting. And the idea is you're trying to be relaxed, but once your hands warm up, you're trying to hit down through the sand. Yeah, and you start just using your hands, and then as you get a bit more good at it or experienced, you use your body. You can clench the fist, and you're striking down with a clenched fist. Be careful, this can be very painful when you first start. Sends like force up your arm and through your veins. Not very nice. And naturally, and then there's the hammer fist. 1, 2, 3. Breathe. It's a bit silly, I know, but to be honest, guys, from years of doing it, it does seem to take away some of the pain. If it just stretches out the muscle and the nerves or whatever, even if it's a placebo, these silly qigong, well, I don't think they're silly, but these silly qigong exercises that sort of straighten out the joints and bones seem to help with the focus of power, with the prevention of damage. And as you can see, as I train more, I'm actually getting lower, which is good, rather than getting higher, which is bad, because it means you're getting lazy and you're like, oh, my legs are a bit tired. So you just want to widen those legs so that you're like a pyramid. Yeah. And like I said, then you can do alternating. So ridge hand, back fist, ridge hand, back fist, palm, back palm. Yeah. Ridge hand, back fist, palm, back of palm. Yeah. Got to remember, ridge hand or shuto, whatever you want to call it. Palm ken, hapa ken, flat slap. Yeah. And of course hammer fist. Boom, boom, boom. And the main thing is being relaxed, because the more tense you are, the more tense the sand's going to be when you hit it. And you don't want that, because the sand's a lot tougher than you are, unfortunately. Yeah, so yeah, need a bit more training there. Hit my own wooden dummy. Yeah, so hit down, hit down. The tortoise is not going to be happy. You can do the joints on your arm and whatnot, and the arm, but I use the wooden dummy for that, to be honest, guys. It's a different type of training than the wooden dummy. Appreciate this video's probably going to be long. Yeah. That develops the iron palm, because you start on the sand, you go on the sand and the gravel, which is this middle one. See, there's the hole. I had to just put an old belt on it. Old belt being the key word there. This is the sand and the gravel, and that's the same thing. So you hit that the same, and the density's a little different. And you just do it at your own pace. But you're meant to train on the sand for months first before you hit the sand and gravel. I find that that's good enough just to do lots of training on. The sand and gravel's virtually not that useful. And because I did lots of years of chopping trees and stuff with my knife, ridge hand or shuto or whatever you want to call it, or dragon or tiger or whatever. I've got to literally strike the gravel. You can see it there. I mean, I can't actually strike it hard enough to make, but that's good enough. That'll develop. And then I go a bit lighter on the palms for the gravel. Fist, because obviously all these 3 videos I've done, I never seem to do my fist, but that's the one you actually train the most, to be honest. And that's the same. I usually do it on the floor actually, but the fist's the same. Put it in a good position, tilt the knuckles a bit forward, and you either slap down, and And once again, it's just about repetition. Focus. You'll hit down into there, and just, unfortunately, it's as boring as you literally just keep hitting, making sure your body's in a good position. You see, there's a good structure there, so if you do that structure on there, you'll copy it when you hit forward. Yeah? Usually it's straight hits for evading, and then it's that hit for coming in, boom, or just that hit anyway. But that's it really. Just hit the damn thing. That's the technique of it. Just a word on how hard you should hit it. Obviously don't talk constantly through the whole thing like I am. Verbal diarrhea. Just, you're meant to focus and breathe. Try and control your breathing. Try and manage the pain. If you get any, don't tend to get a lot of pain anymore. Just manage it. Oh yeah, about the hardness, don't forget this you have to do every day or every second day. I'm not saying we all achieve that, but it's no good. I mean, we've all fallen foul of it. You do a really good session, hitting as hard as you can one day, then the next day you can't hit anything at all. No matter how many times I tell myself, I always fall for it, but I try. So just remember to hold back some of your power, because you've got to do it tomorrow. Yeah? And just literally bounce your hand against that. Not too hard, not too soft. Hundreds of repetitions. Hundreds. And same on the other side. I wish I could hang this up. I used to be able to in another house that I had, but I can't hang it up anymore. And you're either developing these two knuckles. I do all. Some people prescribe to the two knuckle karate fist like that. Some people prescribe to the flat fist where you hit with the whole thing. I tend to train them all. I train those two for strikes, and I train the flat fist sideways, or the flat fist sideways as well, which is actually called the elephant fist, which is just the whole fist. And if you train it, so i.e. you're punching and you're not focusing on just hitting with those two knuckles, you're just hitting with the whole hand. And yeah, I have neglected my bag training a bit because I got the wooden dummy and I wanted to develop more, on the arm conditioning back to what it was. But that's it basically. If I've shown you those, you can do finger strikes as well. But and the fist, and I don't know if you can see it. In fact, let me see if you can see the floor. Oh yeah, you can. Sorry, this video is stretching on a bit. See, it's just a normal stool. Lower would be better. The lower the better. You can go low with your stance. If it was here, it would be good. Boom, boom, boom. Feet as parallel as you can keep them. But anyway, sorry, I was going to show you. So here's the bag with the rip full of sand, or some sand coming out of it now. It's cheapskate, I'm going to have to buy a new one. That's from taking it out, hanging it up on trees. And the same here. Roll the knuckles. And here. Don't know if you guys can see. Try and move around a bit so that you don't just dig a hole in the sandbag. If you get tired of that, because you're going to be doing it for a while, just go down on one knee. Down on the other knee. It's a bit lazy though, so I like to just, even if it's a crouch. And just try try and keep relaxed. That's it really. You can do all your tendon washing and stuff, but that's sort of not advanced level, but it's one of those things people either believe in or they don't. Usually if you've done a lot of conditioning, you do some kind of focus training, and the only other, sorry, stretching this out, the only other fist I do recently is on the old wooden dummy. Obviously, whilst I'm using it, I'll just throw some hits, either with the flat fist, and all that is my old martial arts belt. Just throw some flat fists. Once again, it's just wood with a little bit of cloth, so don't be slamming at it unless you can. But the idea is you're building up the bone strength, you're training. You're not smashing your hands, you're training a scientific method to it. So you do flat, flat, flat on the flats to build up that. Then you roll the knuckles to try and hit the bit of the knuckles. And then you roll from all the knuckles to just the front two knuckles. Yeah? Or you get into another position where you'll just push against the wooden dummy. Another position. And the idea is, it's all just training. It's not, this isn't what you do. You know, it's just a thing to help build up your knuckle. You put your arm in a good position. And little taps. Just you'll know what to do. Anyway, that's all of that. Just a bit of conditioning there. And as you can see, the knuckles are okay. In a very cold weather you might get a bit of blue, but rub them a bit, shake them out. If you've got some deep heat, put that on afterwards. Dip them in hot water if you don't. That's it really. Make sure you've not done too much so you can train tomorrow or the next day. That slowly and gradually builds the bone strength into your hand and your arm. Boom. Doing it relaxed. It's another method to striking makiwaras and stuff. And if you can put that sandbag on the wall, bonus. But me, if I put it on the wall, just the whole house shakes, and my missus will come and get me in trouble. Plus we just painted this nice yellow. I wish I could, but I can't. Okay, that's it.